Touch says things words never quite manage to say. A single gentle touch can communicate more than a whole conversation. But not all touch lands the same way, and not all places feel the same. There are a few specific spots that create real emotional connection, not because of anything overtly romantic, but because of how the nervous system works. These are subtle, often overlooked, and rarely talked about openly. Today, we're breaking down 5 of them, one at a time. Small moments of intentional touch, done right, change everything. The first spot is the lower back, right above the waist. This area is rarely touched in everyday life, which makes it feel intentional. A light hand resting there while walking together can feel grounding and protective. It's not about control, it's about presence, closeness, and quiet reassurance. Touch here often communicates safety more than anything overtly romantic. It says, "I'm here with you," without a single word being spoken. This is why it's used so often in slow dances and quiet, close moments. Simple, subtle, and easy to bring into everyday affection. The second spot is the nape of the neck, just below the hairline. This area has a high concentration of nerve endings, making it especially sensitive. A light touch here, like brushing hair aside, can feel surprisingly intimate. It requires closeness and trust, which is part of why it feels so meaningful. This isn't about intensity. It's about the quiet vulnerability of the gesture. Most people don't let just anyone get close enough to touch this area. That's exactly what makes it feel special when someone you care about does. A small gesture, but one that speaks volumes about closeness. The third spot is the hands, often overlooked because it seems so simple. Holding hands is common, but the way it's done changes everything. A thumb gently tracing across the back of the hand feels different from just holding on. This kind of touch signals attentiveness, not just habit or convenience. Hands are used constantly throughout the day, so this touch often goes unnoticed by others. But between 2 people, it can feel deeply personal and reassuring. It's a small, quiet way to check in without saying a single word. Simple, easy, and something that can happen almost anywhere. The fourth spot is the scalp and hair, especially during quiet moments. Gentle fingers running through hair triggers a naturally relaxing physical response. This is part of why head massages and hair play feel so soothing. It's rooted in touch that most people associate with comfort and care from childhood. That association doesn't disappear as adults, even if we don't consciously think about it. This kind of touch works well during rest, conversation, or simply sitting close together. It doesn't require any particular moment or occasion to feel meaningful. Comfort like this often means more than anything more dramatic ever could. The fifth spot is the face, particularly a gentle hand along the jaw or cheek. This gesture is intimate because it requires someone to hold still and be fully present. It naturally draws eye contact, which deepens the emotional weight of the moment. This kind of touch is rarely casual, which is exactly why it feels significant. It says, "I see you," in a way words often struggle to express. This works especially well during calm, quiet conversations, not rushed or distracted ones. Presence matters more here than anything else in this specific gesture. It's simple, but it's one of the most meaningful forms of connection there is. Here's what matters more than any specific spot on this list. None of this works without genuine attentiveness and real emotional presence. Touch without real connection behind it can feel empty or even uncomfortable. Context matters, comfort matters, and consent matters more than any technique ever could. This isn't about being strategic or performing a checklist of gestures. It's about being present enough to notice what feels right in the moment. Every person is different, and comfort with touch varies widely between individuals. Real connection always comes from attentiveness, not just knowing the right spot. Why does any of this matter in everyday relationships? Because small intentional touch builds emotional safety over time. It's easy to overlook these small gestures in the busyness of daily life, but these quiet moments often matter more than big dramatic gestures ever do. Physical closeness done with real care strengthens trust in a relationship. It doesn't require effort or planning, just awareness and presence. Most people crave this kind of quiet, attentive closeness more than they say out loud, and it's available in almost every ordinary moment together. The healthiest version of all this is simple, ongoing attentiveness. Not a checklist to complete, but a habit of paying closer attention. Notice what makes the person you care about relax, lean in, or soften. Every relationship has its own unique rhythm and comfort with physical closeness. Learning that rhythm matters more than following any general list, including this one. This kind of awareness deepens connection far beyond just physical touch. It shows up in listening, in patience, and in everyday small gestures too. Attention given consistently is what real intimacy is actually built on. So the next time you're close with someone you care about, slow down. Notice the small moments, the lower back, the hands, the quiet closeness. None of it needs to be dramatic to be meaningful and deeply felt. The smallest, most attentive gestures are often the ones that matter most. Real connection isn't about technique, it's about presence, care, and attention. When those things are real, touch becomes a quiet, powerful form of communication. That is the real takeaway hiding behind this entire topic. Presence, given gently and consistently, is what people remember most.